He shattered the cavern wall with a single punch, and the crowd went absolutely wild. That is what insiders are saying about the long-awaited new title, Donkey Kong Bananza, developed by the same legendary team behind Super Mario Odyssey. How did this moment come to define the next big thing in Nintendo's lineup? And why are fans already calling it the most daring game the Donkey Kong universe has ever seen? Today, we are plunging headfirst into every rumor, every tease, and every bit of excitement that has surrounded Donkey Kong Bananza to uncover just what makes this release so electrifying. It is no secret that Nintendo's entertainment planning and development division, famously responsible for Super Mario Odyssey, has kept fans guessing. Years went by without concrete details on what the team's next project would be. Whispers circulated about potential expansions to existing franchises, but the reality has proven far more scintillating. Donkey Kong Bananza is here, it is massive, and it is charging onto the scene with that signature primal power. In this video, we will dissect all the juicy facts we have so far, from that first shocking image of Donkey Kong cracking boulders underground to the possibilities of an epic showdown against a mysterious collective known only as VoidCo. Buckle up, because this is a quest that could rewrite everything we think we know about the Big Ape's adventures. First, let us examine the central hook. Donkey Kong must navigate a subterranean labyrinth, teeming with secrets, obstacles, and a brand new breed of foe. Word around the gaming community is that VoidCo, a newly introduced threat, is hungry for golden bananas. The company's name alone brims with intrigue. VoidCo suggests a mysterious technology or a resourceful group harnessing the power of these luminous bananas for some unspeakable purpose. The stakes for Donkey Kong could not be higher. If this group seizes the golden bananas, the fate of his jungle, and perhaps the entire underground domain, could be at stake. But fear not, because if anyone can knock down entire walls and unravel fiendish schemes, it is Donkey Kong. For those who followed the monumental success of Super Mario Odyssey, you will likely recall the sense of wonder that accompanied exploring lush worlds, discovering hidden secrets around every corner, and utilizing clever transformations. That same ethos promises to spill over into Donkey Kong Bananza. We have heard that the developers want to take the thrill of Odyssey's mechanics, like dynamic movement, creative puzzle solving, and a penchant for the unexpected, and fuse that spirit with Donkey Kong's distinct style of massive brawls, unstoppable rolling attacks, and comedic mischief. Throw in a dash of that bombastic sense of scale the EPD team is known for, and we might be in for a game that enthralls newcomers and longtime fans alike. Putting things into perspective, it has been roughly 8 years since Super Mario Odyssey first hit shelves. During that time, fans have grown hungry, some might say ravenous, for a new showstopper from the EPD crew. Sure, Nintendo has made thrilling titles in other franchises, but the question on everyone's mind has been, what will the Odyssey team do next? And apparently, they have gone bananas, quite literally. The fact that we are switching from cap-throwing plumber escapades to an underground Donkey Kong adventure reflects Nintendo's confidence in Donkey Kong's broad appeal. After all, historically, the Donkey Kong brand has thrived by mixing platforming ingenuity, creative level design, and memorable boss showdowns. With Bananza, the team is reportedly doubling down on these strengths, weaving them into an even more elaborate tapestry of exploration and puzzle solving. Now, let us talk about the visuals. Early glimpses and teases suggest that Donkey Kong Bananza will push the hardware of the Nintendo Switch 2 to new heights. Picture Donkey Kong's fur rendered in stunning detail, each strand shifting dynamically as he swings from ancient stalactites in an underground realm. Picture entire swaths of primordial rock formations, crumbling under the force of his mighty fists, revealing hidden tunnels glimmering with golden reflections. It appears the development team has taken the concept of breakable terrain to a whole new level. Smashing through walls and shifting pathways are rumored to be fundamental components of the gameplay, ensuring that there is a sense of discovery behind every punch, every thrown boulder, and every chunk of debris you can fling. But that is only half the story. The real showstopper might just be the new power-ups. We have heard talk of a banana charge ability that intensifies Donkey Kong's strength for a limited time, letting him roughhouse entire squads of VoidCo goons with a single punch. Another rumored enhancement is an echo suit made from resonating crystals found deep underground, granting Donkey Kong an explosive sonic roar that can crumble certain barriers or stun enemies in a radius. If these power-ups deliver on the sense of comedic infiltration that Donkey Kong is known for, then we might find ourselves toggling these abilities frequently to uncover hidden pockets of treasure or secret routes. Indeed, it is not just about punching away obstacles. It is the strategic use of brand new powers that ensures each area has multiple layers waiting to be excavated. All of this begs the question, how does VoidCo fit into the timeless Donkey Kong mythos? While we have only limited information, rumor has it that this shadowy corporation is not your standard group of cartoon baddies. Instead, they are rumored to be cunning, resource-rich, and advanced in ways that challenge Donkey Kong's raw strength. That sets the stage for a surprisingly nuanced adversary. If the developers at EPD are continuing Odyssey's tradition of weaving a lighthearted tone with deeper narrative elements, we might see a storyline that transcends the usual save the bananas premise. Could VoidCo's quest for golden bananas tie into something bigger? Is there a hidden dimension to these luminous fruits that we have never seen before? Already, speculation runs rampant among fans, with some believing that these bananas possess cosmic energy or that they hold the key to a hidden world beneath the jungle. It is this sense of grand mystery that has Donkey Kong enthusiasts so excited. For decades, Donkey Kong was synonymous with barrel tossing, vine swinging, and comedic interactions with wacky villains like King K. Rool. Bananza seems poised to push those boundaries, exploring a more labyrinthine approach to level design and storytelling. Perhaps we will find lost ruins bearing inscriptions about the origin of Donkey Kong's family line. Perhaps we will unearth forms of flora and fauna never before seen in the franchise. That sense of discovery, of venturing into the unknown and returning with a deeper appreciation of the Donkey Kong world, feels like a direct spiritual successor to the globe-trotting escapades of Mario's Odyssey. But now, the energy is raw, primal, and loaded with Donkey Punch impact. Given that the release date is set for the 17th of July 2025, you might be wondering, what does the game's timing suggest for Nintendo Switch 2's library and the broader industry? By dropping Donkey Kong Bananza in the middle of that year, it looks like Nintendo is aiming to dominate summer gaming discussions, and possibly overshadow any major competing titles. The year 2025 might shape up to be pivotal for the console generation, especially if advanced features of the Switch 2 allow for massive worlds to run seamlessly in handheld mode. If Donkey Kong is bounding seamlessly across sweeping subterranean caverns on the go, that alone could be a killer selling point for prospective buyers. Nintendo is likely well aware that Bananza's release can serve as a statement. Our console is no one-trick pony. Here is a robust, exhilarating experience you can take anywhere. Now, if you have enjoyed the epic reveals and the unstoppable momentum so far, consider showing your support by giving this video a like. It helps us gauge your excitement for these in-depth gaming explorations, and it lets us know you are eagerly anticipating Donkey Kong Bananza, just like we are. After all, tremendous donkey punches and massive expansions are best experienced when we share our enthusiasm with fellow fans. Behind the scenes, the EPD division remains something of an enigma. They are known for blending imaginative gameplay with pitch-perfect comedic beats, and have consistently introduced mechanics that redefine our expectations. With Super Mario Odyssey, they took the age-old concept of a 3D platforming adventure and breathed new life into it by letting us capture various objects and enemies. Now, if rumors are to be trusted, Bananza's terrain manipulation is a direct evolution of that same creative spirit. Where Odyssey gave us the ability to transform shapes using Mario's hat, Bananza is set to give us the freedom to physically reshape the environment with Donkey Kong's might. This might mean that entire sections are only accessible by punching a wall in just the right spot, or perhaps carrying a chunk of rock down a corridor to reveal a vulnerable structural point. 1UP Studio, the co-developer that assisted with Odyssey, also reportedly has a hand in Bananza's development. That is great news because 1UP Studio has a knack for polishing gameplay experiences, smoothing out little kinks and ensuring each level flows seamlessly. We can anticipate that 1UP's involvement means beautiful transitions between puzzle-heavy segments and action-packed battles, with minimal downtime. The synergy between EPD's big-picture innovation and 1UP's attention to detail may prove to be the secret sauce that makes Donkey Kong Bananza truly stand out. When the two teams come together, the result is rarely anything short of stellar. From a marketing standpoint, Bananza checks every box for a crowd pleaser. You have an instantly recognizable mascot, a timeline that allows for a big promotional buildup, a core gameplay concept, underground exploration, that sets it apart from prior Donkey Kong titles, and a brand new set of adversaries that raise the stakes considerably. No wonder the hype machine is already kicking into full gear. The surprises do not stop, though. Some insiders are whispering about cameo appearances or nods to other Nintendo icons in side quests or bonus challenges. The synergy between Donkey Kong's comedic antics and cameo illusions from other Nintendo universes could further expand the game's appeal. If you are worried that Bananza might stray too far from the classic Donkey Kong formula, fear not. From what we have heard, the musical elements that gave the original games their infectious energy will be back in some form. Expect a percussion-heavy soundtrack featuring tribal drums and primal tunes that morph and shift depending on which part of the underground you are in. Picture those drumming rhythms intensifying as you near the lair of a powerful VoidCo boss, or the beats softening to a moody echo in a shimmering crystal cavern. The environment itself appears to be charged with musical flourishes, creating an immersive tapestry that pulls players deeper into the subterranean dreamscape. It is almost impossible to discuss Donkey Kong Bananza without acknowledging the lineage that preceded it. While Donkey Kong has starred in platformers, racing games, and countless cameo appearances, some fans felt the series needed an even more ambitious, narrative-driven journey. The subterranean setting could be that next logical step, unearthing a side of Donkey Kong that we have never seen, and bridging the gap between comedic platform fun and more cinematic, drama-filled storytelling. If the team integrates comedic cutscenes, emotional stakes, and that unstoppable sense of wonder found in Super Mario Odyssey, we might see the most robust single-player Donkey Kong campaign ever. Meanwhile, speculation persists about possible co-op or online modes, though no specifics have been confirmed. One angle that has especially captivated fans is the notion of, the deeper you go, the more secrets you find. Will Donkey Kong harness new forms of subterranean wildlife as allies? Might we see the reintroduction of beloved side characters like Diddy Kong or Dixie Kong, each with a unique spin on the environment-bashing mechanics? Perhaps we will get a cameo from the grainy, sarcastic Cranky Kong as he critiques Donkey Kong's excavation approach. The interplay between comedic relief and exhilarating exploration has always been a hallmark of the Donkey Kong brand, and Bananza's premise is rife with comedic potential. Just imagine Donkey Kong accidentally punching a fault line and sending floods of glittering gems everywhere, prompting a frantic race to collect them before they tumble into an abyss. Speaking of collecting, the Golden Banana Quest is more than just a repeated objective. Developers reportedly want each Golden Banana to feel like its own reward, hidden behind unique puzzles or complete mini-story arcs. That is reminiscent of Odyssey's approach, where scattered moons added up to a robust sense of progress. But Golden Bananas might be more integrated, unlocking entire regions or conferring new powers. After all, if VoidCo is after these bananas for a reason, it stands to reason they hold a transformative potential that could shift the gameplay in spectacular new directions. This speculation alone has players salivating at the idea of a Donkey Kong experience that seamlessly marries comedic grandeur with epic labyrinthine progression. In the midst of these reveals and theories, do not forget about the bigger picture. Nintendo Switch 2 is shaping up to be a console that merges portability with advanced hardware capabilities. Donkey Kong Bananza's release timing places it as a tentpole title that demonstrates what the Switch 2 can really do. If you, dear viewer, are as excited as I am about these possibilities, then now is the perfect time to subscribe. You will not want to miss our deep dives, behind-the-scenes features, and all the updates leading up to Bananza's big release. Trust me, if you have made it this far, you are definitely a fan of giant monkey antics and boundary-pushing gameplay. Behind every awe-inspiring game are the creative minds that shaped it. The official confirmation that Nintendo's Entertainment Planning and Development Division, backed by their frequent partner, 1UP Studio, helms Bananza is a clear statement. This project is top priority, and only the best talents in the industry are being entrusted with Donkey Kong's next chapter. The heart and soul they poured into Super Mario Odyssey turned that game into a phenomenon. We can expect similar dedication here, but with a bolder, more earth-shaking twist. Indeed, rumor has it that some of the Odyssey team members spent years brainstorming how to translate that sense of fascinating discovery into an environment that is more physically destructible. That is where the notion of Bonanza mayhem was born. Instead of simply exploring luscious landscapes, players get to carve their way through them. The pitch that allegedly won over Nintendo executives was that every punch has consequences. Just imagine forging a new path to an underground chamber because you managed to topple a series of stalactites, creating a makeshift bridge. This interplay between strength and environment opens up the door for comedic mishaps as well, ensuring the game never loses that whimsical tone. If there is one thing we know about Nintendo, it is that comedic spontaneity is often central to their biggest hits. The presence of a cunning new adversary group like VoidCo also keeps everything fresh. While the exact nature of their motivations is still under wraps, leaks suggest that these golden bananas may contain raw cosmic energy that can power advanced machinery. VoidCo, seeking to harness that energy, deploys specialized units, traps, and artificial hazards throughout the underground labyrinth to deter Donkey Kong from reaching these bananas first. This dynamic sets up an almost treasure-hunting race against time. Each new zone you discover might be a step behind these unscrupulous invaders, and you will have to retake the area by smashing their contraptions, outsmarting their mechanical drones, and reclaiming the golden bananas that power these inventions. Because the stakes are bigger, so too are Donkey Kong's abilities. Expect the game to emphasize a wide range of momentum-based moves. Think unstoppable rolling leaps that bounce from stone walls, brutal ground pounds that ripple through the terrain to reveal hidden chambers, and overhead swings that can yank down stalactites to form new ledges. Picture the comedic potential of accidentally swinging into the wrong pillar, bringing half the chamber's roof down with a thunderous crash, while Donkey Kong scurries away, eyes wide with shock. The entire movement set is rumored to revolve around the idea of incredible physical comedy paired with purposeful puzzle solving. How does it all culminate? We can only guess that the game's final act might revolve around the grandest discovery in Donkey Kong's subterranean journey. Perhaps a climactic confrontation with VoidCo's top brass in a hidden temple, pulsing with the powerful core of the golden bananas. Maybe Donkey Kong will harness that final wellspring of energy in an outrageously bombastic sequence, toppling skyscraper-sized enemies, or rewriting the shape of the domain with a single unstoppable blow. The real question is, can the creative minds at EPD deliver an ending as satisfying and triumphant as we are all hoping? Considering their track record, the final showdown could be something we talk about for years. Many also point out that Nintendo historically times big Donkey Kong releases to coincide with celebratory periods or generational leaps in hardware. If that pattern holds, Bonanza may well become the definitive Donkey Kong game of this era, overshadowing the nearest competition through its sheer scale and innovation. Hardcore fans recall how Donkey Kong Country on the Super Nintendo was a graphical marvel for its time and set a standard for platforming. Could Donkey Kong Bonanza become the new yardstick, not just for Donkey Kong games, but for 3D platformers at large? If all goes according to plan, that might be exactly what happens. Of course, there are concerns. Some wonder if the extended development cycle and high expectations might inflate hype to be nearly unmanageable. Will Bonanza truly feel like the rightful successor to the beloved Super Mario Odyssey, or is the hype train setting us up for disappointment? Nintendo's EPD rarely stumbles, but the bigger the project, the larger the weight on their shoulders. Fans are not just expecting a fun Donkey Kong romp, they want a masterpiece. They want that same level of jaw-dropping wonder that Odyssey delivered in spades. And they want it to revolve around a jungle hero with an enormous appetite for bananas and high-stakes comedic showdowns. A big piece of the puzzle will likely be how the developers integrate difficulty and accessibility. Donkey Kong Country titles are fondly remembered for their challenging yet fair progression. For Bonanza, balancing the comedic tone and storyline with a game that can be accessible to casual audiences yet still test the mettle of completionists, is no small feat. Factor in the potential for co-op features or additional playable Kongs, and you begin to see the complexities the development team must juggle. At this point, though, skepticism pales beside the raw excitement. Even the mere possibility of orchestrating co-op combos to demolish entire corridors in an underground fortress is enough to send longtime fans into a frenzy. Regardless of how all these elements ultimately mesh, Donkey Kong Bonanza is shaping up to be one of Nintendo's biggest releases in quite some time. Everything about this game seems poised to deliver intense physicality, comedic flair, and enthralling puzzles, wrapped in a narrative that expands upon a beloved character's legacy. It is a testament to Nintendo's willingness to leverage the full power of their new hardware, while also reaffirming the unstoppable charm of characters who have captured hearts for decades. In an era where new releases often overshadow older franchises, it is refreshing to see Donkey Kong charging back into the spotlight with such unstoppable vigor. With every new reveal, the gaming community's anticipation grows. Some are already bookmarking the 17th of July 2025 as the day they will disappear into their gaming caves, determined to uncover every nook and cranny of Donkey Kong's subterranean world. Others are preparing by revisiting classic Donkey Kong titles, building up the hype as the countdown to Bananza's release continues. The question now is not whether Bananza will live up to the hype, it is whether it will surpass it, in ways we have not yet even imagined. In closing, it is safe to say that Donkey Kong Bananza is more than just another entry in a beloved franchise. It is the next leap forward from the visionary team that gave us Super Mario Odyssey. It is a sign that Nintendo's EPD is not afraid to push boundaries, drawing inspiration from past triumphs while forging a brand new adventure. It is a reminder that Donkey Kong, with his unbridled strength and lovable antics, is still a formidable icon in the gaming world. And for all the talk of hidden caves, cosmic bananas, and comedic smash-ups, we are left with one inescapable conclusion. The Bananza is coming, and it is going to shake the ground beneath our feet. All right, folks, the time has come to wrap up this deep dive. If you enjoyed journeying through all the rumors, tidbits, and imaginative prospects that Donkey Kong Bananza has to offer, then remember to stay tuned for more updates. As we inch closer to its release, odds are high that Nintendo will reveal even more gameplay footage, features, and story details. Until then, keep your eyes open for swirling rumors and keep that hype fueled, because if Donkey Kong Bananza is even half as big as it sounds, we are in for one wild subterranean ride.